Welcome, fair listeners, to my new show, Tell Trudy. I am sitting in the Boomer Zoomer, my old camper van, at a rest stop on the interstate, a location designated by a late night message relayed to me by the host of the local interest show. Today, I'm launching episode 1 of something really different, random. I have purposely not planned a topic for my guest. She doesn't know that, actually. I did not have the opportunity to discuss any interview questions with her ahead of time, so hopefully this won't be too big a deal. I'm going to call this episode Random Riff. Okay, here's my guest, Miss Maple Syrup of 1969, Sheila Abernathy. Thanks for joining us, Sheila.
What? Thanks for having me, but
Sorry, that maple syrup thing probably threw you. It just randomly popped into my head.
I don't think I was old enough to be Miss Anything in 1969, and I'm not a fan of sweet, sticky liquid of any kind.
What do you put on pancakes?
What are pancakes?
Like waffles without pockets?
What are waffles?
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so what do you eat for breakfast?
Why is that relevant?
Help me out here. I'm just trying to find a random topic we can get into.
I came prepared to talk about my recent landing. Per our agreement?
So you flew here?
Last week sometime, I think.
From where?
That's the thing, I don't know. I'm not sure I flew. I don't have any wings.
Okay, this could be interesting. Do you have amnesia?
Absolutely not. It's all very clear.
I don't understand.
I'm trying to put the pieces together. I know the facts. I just don't know the why or the how exactly.
Why don't you start with the facts then?
What day is it?
Tuesday.
Okay, good to know. I was kidnapped.
My goodness, are you a crime victim? Have you reported this?
I'm reporting it now as we speak. I don't feel like a victim. I feel kind of cerulean with a tinge of spacey and pink.
I can see that. Your hair is sort of sparkly. Pretty. Oh, and it matches your shoes. Oh, and your nails and your eyes. Contact lenses?
Thanks. I'm a little anxious, but actually, I'm pretty calm now compared with the incident.
Can you share a little more? This is very hard to get a handle on.
You're telling me it's clear but murky. Do you know what I mean?
No, usually I'm pretty intuitive, but no, I've got nothing. I need more to go on.
I remember sitting in my ship looking at the sky. There were stars all around.
A spaceship?
Of course not. I have a boat, a big boat. Calling it a ship is sort of romantic. A yacht sounds pretentious. Anyway, he's called Seymour.
Go on.
So I was sitting on deck when suddenly a group of individuals in camouflage climbed over the rails and told me they weren't going to hurt me. They just needed a ride to shore. They had backpacks full of food and juice, which we all shared, delicious. They were delightful storytellers, very pleasant.
Pirates?
No, I wouldn't say so. They were from some kind of church group, I think, very respectful.
What were they doing in the middle of the ocean?
Not the ocean, a big lake with an island. They had been having a Sunday picnic when something on the island spooked them. They all got in their little motorboats to leave suddenly, but the motor sputtered and died. They were right next to my boat and called to me, but I didn't see or hear them because it was dark and I was looking at the stars. So beautiful.
So you took them to shore?
Yes, but it turned out that they wanted to go to the other side of the island, not the direction I was planning to go. They insisted, and I kept saying no, but finally one of them took the controls and we headed to their preferred destination.
Did you panic? I would have panicked.
No, there must have been something in the juice, chamomile maybe. I was very relaxed, at ease, and I found I didn't care. I didn't have anywhere I needed to be anyway.
Then what?
We went over to the South Shore, and Seymour crashed into some rocks. He got torn up pretty bad. I was exhausted and fell asleep fast. When I woke up the next day, I was strapped into a parachute in a small airplane. One of them, a woman kept saying, "Are you sure you want to jump? We'll be glad to touch down on the beach or on an airstrip." I was very groggy. And I heard myself saying, no, I really want to do this. I want the adventure. This is an adventure. I want to jump. So I got a quick lesson on how it would work, me jumping and the parachute opening. And sure enough, I went and did it. Midair, I woke up and started to panic then. But all went well, and I landed next to the mall, which is where I met you when I went to get some garlic chili fries at the food court. I guess I still wasn't clear headed.
You were searching your pockets for money.
And you paid for my fries. I appreciate that so much, so much.
Well, anyone would have done the same thing. You really looked like you needed some help. Then we talked a little, and I thought I'd like to hear your story. I didn't have any preconceived ideas at that point. That is very unlike me. I have so many preconceived ideas, they're a constant meteor shower in my head. I try to follow through on a train of thought, as it were. But I was supposed to meet my new podcast producer, but she didn't show up. Just left a check at the counter in an envelope with my name on it. When I initially saw you, I had no idea who you were or what you'd been through, no reference point. You just had an interesting air about you. Now that I think of it, sort of like you'd fallen from the sky.
As indeed I had.
What happened to your chute?
My what?
Your parachute?
Oh, I went back to look for it after I ate the fries and drank the lemonade you brought me. Thank you again. But there was no trace of it.
Are you sure? Did you look in the right place?
Yes, I'm sure of it. There was no trace whatsoever, as though the whole thing didn't happen.
Is that a possibility?
You don't believe me? Please, I'm starting not to believe it myself. I need someone to take me seriously or I'll lose my mind. I hope I haven't already lost my mind, but I don't think so. I believe this either happened or I was drugged, and it was the strangest, most vivid dream I ever experienced. I'm going to find out. I'd kind of like to see Seymour again to see what shape he's in.
But you have no idea where where your boat, ship is.
There were a lot of rocks. The island was in the middle of a lake. I remember the lake, but it was my first time there. Don't know if I could find it again.
But you took your boat there, so you must have driven from somewhere.
I was on a random road trip. I was staying in a safe house until they pushed me out.
This is amazing. This pilot episode is called Random Riff. Prophetic. But still, you must have towed or driven the boat from somewhere you know.
I bought the boat from a guy at the lake on a whim, gave him all my money.
This is an odd tale, I'll admit. Not what I expected today.
What were you expecting?
You know what? I wasn't expecting anything. I was open to unconstrained musings to see where they might lead. Be careful what you wish for.
So you'll help me?
Me?
Our paths have crossed for a reason, randomly, if you will. I think you have to just go with it, as you say, to see where this leads.
Let me think about it.
I don't have the luxury of time. I need a ride to the mall today before it gets dark.
I can do that. Let me sign off and I'll get a jacket. I'm going to charge my remote recording setup just in case.
Please hurry.
Okay, folks, we're out of time today. This story is proving to be intriguing beyond my wildest conjecture, way beyond what I thought I was signing up for when I decided to do this show. All I can say is, to be continued.